What's up guys, my name is Dee and I'm back with another video. So today we are going to be doing some reactions. So I found a page that reacts to theories on cartoons, and if you ever seen South Park, you should know South Park is very raunchy and it has a message hidden in its toilet humor. So this guy kind of reveals the message behind this episode, and I remember seeing this episode when Stan kind of gets older and he's not seeing the world as he used to. He feels like everything that he used to like, he doesn't like anymore. So let's get a little bit in depth in this guy's theory, but before we get into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss any other video from me. I have a bunch of stuffed animals, but they're all gifts, so it's like, do you just throw them out if you don't want them anymore? I feel bad because it's like I don't really be getting gifts like that, and I don't want to throw out like my gifts, you know.
South Park has run for years and over 300 episodes, so obviously they've told a lot of stories over the years. But unlike its other cartoon contemporaries with massive episode numbers like The Simpsons or Family Guy, South Park has continuously been run by only 2 people. This is nothing short of miraculous. Even The Simpsons changed showrunners every 2 years for its first 8 seasons, allowing for fresh new voices and ideas to cycle in and out of the writer's room.
That's amazing. I feel like they're geniuses, like really.
Write the show. At the end of the day, the entire series is filtered through Matt Stone and particularly Trey Parker, who writes and directs every single episode. In fact, it's actually comical to scroll through the episode listings and just see the walls of Trey Parker's name lining the credits. But making over 300 episodes of television is not easy, especially when there are just 2 guys in charge. And obviously the show has changed a lot over the years. Often events happening within the series are reflections of how Matt and Trey were feeling at the time those episodes were produced. But there were 2 episodes in season 15 that not only blatantly showcased Matt and Trey's feelings on South Park at the time, but also laid a vague roadmap that could help predict exactly where the show was going to go. So today let's talk about South Park's midlife crisis from season 15, You're Getting Old. So as I mentioned up top, South Park has seen many changes over the years, but there are a few that stand out most prominently. For years, the show focused pretty much exclusively on the 4 boys, Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny. Sometimes the story
Kenny always dies.
Lives, but the focus was always on the boys. Eventually, however, South Park started to show much more of a focus on Randy, Stan's dad. Partially because he became a standout comedic character, and partially because as they got older, Matt and Trey simply related to the older characters more than the younger characters. Matt Stone even mentioned this at their 20th anniversary panel.
Yeah, and we're old now, so you know we are. It's like there's a lot. That's why Randy's become a big character.
And the episode You're Getting Old showcased these feelings in 2 brilliant ways. They showed both Stan and Randy struggle to come to terms with the fact that they're getting older, with Stan feeling confused that he isn't enjoying life in the same ways anymore, and Randy feeling concerned that his life and the world are passing him by. The episode brilliantly showcases Stan's dilemma when his new Tween Wave album doesn't sound good to him anymore. This is initially believed to just be Stan getting older and growing out of certain things, which it is, but there's an extra layer of confusion thrown into the mix when other music that adults enjoy also sounds awful to Stan. In fact, everything starts to sound and look like shit to Stan. Movies all look terrible.
How's that getting me?
Look inedible. Even his friends start to look like shit. The world just seems shitty to Stan. And the doctor says the culprit is...
It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
At that same 20th anniversary panel, Trey Parker actually talked briefly about this episode and confirmed that this was how he was feeling at the time.
There was one where Stan just decided everything was shit, you know, and to a lot of people they're like,
I like how they relate these characters to themselves though.
But you can tell that this dilemma was also being told through Randy's story in the episode. Through Randy, we see that concern that the world is changing around him and that he can't keep up. Randy's entire story focuses on how he desperately wants to appreciate and understand these new trends, but he simply doesn't.
No, it doesn't sound like crap to me!
Randy and Sharon have a pretty major fight in the episode, and that fight highlights what I believe are some of the very real concerns that Matt and Trey were fighting. In the commentary for this episode, the pair of them talk about how the story was meant to be commenting on the sitcom nature of their own show, and how everything just resets week to week. And you can tell this is what they're talking about.
Because it's like they forget everything that happens.
Then in a week it just all resets until
That's true.
it happens again.
And so Matt
That's
and
like
Trey
how Kenny
decided
dies
that
every
ending the
episode,
show
and
on a more
then next
somber,
episode he's alive.
existential note was
Like he didn't
actually
just
the right
die.
move. As Fleetwood Mac's Landslide plays, the episode ends without the story resetting back to normal. Randy and Sharon get divorced. Stan moves out of his house and into an apartment with his mom. Everything still looks like shit to him.
I didn't even know they got divorced.
Just ends.
I haven't watched
Now,
South
the
Park
most
in such a long
interesting
time,
thing about
so.
this is that so many people read this ending as Matt and Trey being entirely finished with South Park, which was not their intention at
I
all.
hope not.
But it was a mid-season
I need to
finale,
watch
and there
more
was a
South-
huge
I
break
love this
between this
show.
and the next set of episodes, leading to endless speculation and even questions about it while they were doing press for Book of Mormon. But Matt and Trey maintained that it was more of a commentary on the sitcom nature of South Park and not a thinly veiled hint that the duo didn't want to make the show anymore. But interestingly, in the follow-up episode, Asperger's, the duo actually felt like they had to revert everything to the status quo.
Some of the ideas were that we were gonna just keep going like this. Stan lives in an apartment with his mom, and we were just gonna have the show go on like that. And we came up with all these different ideas of how to keep it like this. And
We were gonna do a
it
serialized
again. Yeah,
thing.
do a serialized thing where he slowly through the course of the season tried to get his parents back together, but like we finally were like, we're just kind of stuck. We just don't really have a choice. Things are going to have to just reset.
And I think this is actually sort of the key to understanding what Matt and Trey...
I mean, that's like how their show's been based like this whole
consciously or
time.
subconsciously. One of the most interesting things about this episode is that the dialogue for Randy and Sharon's big fight was written the Tuesday morning before the show aired. And also that using the music track Landslide was approved Tuesday night. They had backups ready to go, but as they claimed, none of the other ones felt right.
That's how they
And while
filmed their
might not have
show,
had some
though.
grand plan for that conversation between Randy and Sharon, or the
So, like, they'll
Landslide
write
montage at the end,
the show,
I
like,
think
2
these
days
things might be
before the
some
show
of
has to
purest
air.
expressions of how they were
That's how they get away with so much
because
stuff.
of how they came about. They were quickly and genuinely created, maybe more likely to come from the heart. They weren't written and rewritten over and over. And I think this especially lines up with what we've seen from the show in subsequent years. Because while they felt pigeonholed into maintaining the status quo here in season 15, seasons 18 through 23 started to shake things up in major ways with the introduction of more serialized story elements, most notably Integrity Farms. Moving the Marsh family to Integrity Farms feels like an extension of this inclination that Matt and Trey had back in season 15, where they wanted to shake things up, but then had second thoughts. And fittingly, I think the lyrics to Landslide actually illustrate this better than anything else.
So the parents
I put this
just
up
got
for
back
you,
together
but it's
like they
one of
never
the
got
most famous
divorced.
songs in the world, so I'll just have to read the lyrics. I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, children get older, and I'm getting older too. In Asperger's, Matt and Trey were literally afraid of changing the show they had built their
I
life.
see, because
They
he just
wanted
moved right
to,
back.
but they were afraid to do it. But as the song said,
I wasn't putting all that packing.
older. And as they got older, they were more willing to take these kinds
Look
of
like the
risks
same exact
for the
boxes.
sake
I
of
can never
their own
opened it.
happiness.
Because I'm unhappy, okay? I've been unhappy for a long time.
Matt and Trey may not have intended this episode to be some big statement about how they felt about South Park, but I think that subconsciously, this paved the road for what the show would become over the past 9 years. This was the first hint that they were interested in trying new, riskier methods of story.
I know Cartman has
And
a
they've since
girlfriend, like,
experimented with this
Cartman.
stuff, and some of those choices have paid off, while others have been derailed by real-world events. But I expect that if they hadn't been willing to take these risks, their interest in South Park may have dwindled. And this is even something we're continuing to see to this day. The vaccination special back in March, while doing certain things to re-establish the old status quo, like reintroduce old Garrison, they're also setting up major changes. The boys
So he's not a
sort of
woman
split up
anymore?
their friend group, implying that they aren't going to be as close anymore. A pretty bold move for the series to make in its 24th season. Personally,
Yeah.
I'm all for these changes, and I can't wait to see what they
It's a part of
decide
growing up, really.
because time makes us bolder. Children get older.
I'm getting older too.
Folks,
Wow.
thanks so much for tuning into this little South Park analysis. If you liked it, don't forget to check out my other
Wow, so that made a lot of sense because we all get older, and as we get older, our personalities change, our tastes change. Things that we used to enjoy, we don't enjoy as much anymore. Like, when I think about like the old me, let's say like the old me trying to do something like this, like I feel like my mouth would be more vulgar. I've been cursing a lot more. You know, back then I really didn't care what I said or who I offended. I'm just gonna say it because I feel like it. But now as I'm older, I'm really trying to watch out for what I say and just try to, like, I don't know, I guess I'm just more calm. I'm not as wild as I used to be. I used to always want to be out. I used to party a lot. Now I don't even want to go to any party. I just want to sleep, stay home, watch movies, play some games. Like, I'm such a homebody now, especially after the pandemic. Like, all I do is stay home. Like, you really have to drag me out the house. I'll go out, but you gotta drag me out. But people change, and I really think this really brought a message. Like, I wouldn't consider it a midlife crisis. It's just literally a part of getting older. You have to work on yourself each and every day, because each day you become a new person. I think this does have a certain message in it. They put their message in their own way, but it does reflect how life is when you get older. Like, now when I'm getting older, watching back shows that I used to watch, like, I used to be like, yo, I used to find this so interesting. Like, there's so many things I never realized. Like, I was watching Girlfriends before, and I used to watch Girlfriends when I was like in elementary. Now watching Girlfriends now, and I understand more because I'm older. The show is just completely different to me. Like, a bunch of cartoons I used to watch when I was younger that I'm watching now, it just seems so different because I understand a lot more. Music and stuff that I used to like now, even when it comes to music, like, I remember when I used to listen to music, you know, from the 99s and the 2000s, you had people who are older and used to be like, why are you listening to this crap? And I just be like, this is lit, what are you talking about? And now I'm listening to music new generation listening to, and I'm just like, I can't listen to this. Like, how do you listen to this? They're not talking about anything, they're talking gibberish. And I guess that's just how it is as you get older. You know, you have to, the times change, really, and then you have to adjust to the new times, and it may not go with what you're used to and what you like. So this is interesting. I love theories. I love watching stuff like this. If you do like content like this, like the video. That helps me know if you want to see more of this. Comment with me. What do you think about this theory? What do you think? What is a midlife crisis? Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. What do you think is a midlife crisis? And do you think this actually put a message of life, really, of growing up and getting older, and how your taste changes? Do you see things that you used to like as you're getting older, you don't like it anymore, and now it's shit, you know? Let's talk about it. Let's discuss. Get it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.